Good morning, Sri Lanka. The 24th of September 2013. My name is Banu Vikramasinghe, along with the gorgeous Anupama.
Okay.
And with these two gentlemen over here who revolutionized Sri Lankan awards shows. So we've got the organizer here and we've got a winner.
Yes, we've still got Dr. Lasantha Malavike.
Yes, Dr. Lasantha, my next question is going to be, did you have any role model when you were younger? Do you want to be someone in the future who will look like, I want to be someone like you?
A difficult question because because I have had so many role models in different.
Pick one. Maybe in the
maybe
industry.
name a few.
Yeah, and then select
the
best.
That's right. In medical field, I have my boss as the role model. That is Dr. Jonathan Levy. He's academic in the University of Oxford, and he's.
Doctor, you mentioned that you're visiting.
Yes, after my PhD and specialist training, I came back to Sri Lanka, but I continue to be an academic fellow at the University of Oxford.
That's wonderful.
With my the role model with Dr. Jonathan Levy. So
that's how you met him.
Yes, and I continue to do some research work with him. I think in medical field, he's my role model, but as you probably would know, I have other interests. So there I have different role models for different things.
When Dr. Lasantha said that he has different interests, we should not forget Lasana Flora. Why don't you very briefly tell us about how can you handle both of these things?
Yeah, it's the Anupama, it's a common question, and it's a tricky one because it's a difficult thing actually. I started Lasana Flora when I was a third-year medical student. If I didn't do that at that point, I wouldn't have done all this in my medical field also, because that gave me resources and also courage and also
boost.
Exactly. And when I'm doing the medical work, I'm in a way relaxed, and but when you do it to an extent, you get tired.
Yes.
But then you start something else. You do something with flowers, and then you are relaxed again. So I think
it's a good balance, isn't it?
Good balance in a way, but sometimes it can be challenging, difficult. But I've been telling when I was a medical student also, like I've been telling then my girlfriend, now my wife, I want to give up medicine after this exam, the final exam. Likewise,
so she's been motivating you.
Yeah, so, she says, no, you have been doing this. You have never failed an exam. You can continue.
So it's not a lie that when people say there's one woman behind every successful man, it's absolutely right. And we got it out of Dr. Lasantha. Come on, Banu, it's a fact. It's a fact.
All right. Okay, let's continue.
All right.
So like
but you need to have a good family backup as well. That's a huge factor, right?
Yes. And also I must mention my mother, and she had been an inspiration right throughout.
Another woman.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
And the third woman is my sister. I think
right.
Yes, because the 5 years the 5 years in Oxford, I had to leave Lasana Flora behind for 5 years, and my sister, she's a lawyer, but she gave up her practice and opted to look after the flower business. So without her, I wouldn't have done the foreign training and the research work.
Khalil, on that thought, are entrepreneurs advised to enter this competition? I mean, they do a huge riskers, right?
Yes.
They take huge risks,
yes,
and it's very difficult for one person to just go out there, take a risk, and be an entrepreneur in the real world. How do you see that in this context?
Yeah, we have the categorical for there is a first number one is the entrepreneur and economic leadership accomplishment that we give it. And of course there is a challenging now. This year also we have an entrepreneur who have really achieved, and the entrepreneurs we have their submit album, their challenges, and the entrepreneurs, I think not only entrepreneurs, every category there's a challenge on a different aspect. It may becomes on the different role. But because when the entrepreneurs takes a challenge on one side,
but you can never
the profession,
compare, right? You can never compare between.
But each has a different. So I think the doctor will agree the stress and things that you go through while balancing both.
Yes.
And,
absolutely.
So.
Interesting. Something that actually intrigued me about about you, Dr. Lasantha, is that not only have you won this award for medical research, but you can actually opt out for art and culture in the future. Hopefully.
But the problem is I have exceeded the age limit.
Now the wonder of this organization is 18 to 40, because even our the leadership now, the presidency, now I'm the project chair this year, the next year someone else.
Okay.
So you can lead for 1 year. Even the world president lead for 1 year. So that's this is the only organization who provides the opportunities. That's for everyone. That's why we say the empowering young person to create positive change within himself, and it's within a society, and is one as large as the world.
But just to give my personal opinion, when it's 40, your real life begins, right?
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Just see, the JCI is giving, if somebody calls you at the age of 40, you are still young.
Absolutely.
So one of the largest young organizations in the world.
That is a stepping stone to go into the real world, I guess.
I'm really glad that the gap between 18 and 40 is there, like Banu mentioned, because you can't reject a 40-year-old saying that he's too old. And I was also wondering now, when it comes to entrepreneurs and different categories like academic accomplishments and all that, is there a different way of judging, or a different panel of judges, different ways of judging, or is everything put together when it comes to the final judgment?
No, it's true. Each category is judged.
Okay.
So if he's an entrepreneur, that's the entrepreneur, and that will be judged. And there is a judging criteria we are not supposed to disclose, because since every year we are going through it.
But does it have a hierarchy?
Yeah, that's a hierarchy. We have a judge who will be heading it, and he will be reading his reports, and we have the judges in the different discipline, respective medical innovation, medical entrepreneurs, and corporate heads, and then the art and culture, the media. And every aspect we have judged. It's a pool of judges. They knows everything, and they will be definitely being justifying. And also we have an international standard of judging. We will never change, because that's the international standard.
Like you mentioned.
Then again, it is audited.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. The hierarchy of the judging family.
Dr. Lasantha, did you have a vision when you were younger? That someday that I want to achieve?
Did you know that you're going to be a doctor?
Exactly.
Sorry?
Did you know that you're going to be a doctor, sir?
Yes.
And the vision and the mission in your life.
Yes. 2 questions.
So go ahead with both.
That's what happens when you're stuck with Anupama and Banu.
Right, okay. Where to start? I have a vision for my medical field, and I have a vision for my the business.
Okay.
And where should I start? I think for this specialty, because it's a specialty that never existed in the country. People suffer from sexual problems, and they suffer in silence, and you don't see the problem as it is. You sometimes see the complication of the problem, right? You see the gender, the base violence, you see alcohol abuse, drug abuse, the suicide, all these complications, the separation, all that. And I wanted to establish this discipline in Sri Lanka, and also help these patients who suffer in silence in whatever the possible way I could. And it's about happiness. It's not exactly happiness. Sometimes it's a basic human need.
Of course.
And that's my medical thing. And with regard to
the business,
I have a clear vision. I want to set a benchmark in service excellence in this country through Lassana Flora, because I see our service standards, we take things for granted, and they are, I would say, is generally poor compared to the West, and even other Asian countries like Japan, Singapore, and also the Asian countries. We accept imperfection most of the time. So my vision in the business is to set a benchmarks, set an example to service excellence.
And maybe someone from Lasanafra will win the award for arts and culture next time. You never know.
But I think what I've learned is not just everything plays a pivotal role. You know, it's all about hard work. It's all about getting it absolutely spot on.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Doctor, for being here on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Hopefully, you had a great time as well.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
We learned as well.
Yes.
It was a mutual education system throughout the show.
Yes,
join us on our Facebook page as well. It's www.facebook.com/Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll be back.